to No Enemies Here, the show where you should be doing and watching better things. That's what you should be doing. But anyways, for the people watching, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. So this week we have the GMT monthly update, of which I'm doing right now at 8:21 in the morning before going to work. Life, you gotta take it when it happens. That's very, very, very deep. And also, Worthington Publishing has a new book game out, Guadalcanal Solo, if I'm not mistaken. Man, they're kicking hiney. We gotta have. When I said we, I meant everything you want to know about war games, but we're afraid to ask. With Artie, we have to have Grant on just to chat about stuff like that, because Grant is Grant of Worthington Publishing, Grant Wiley. He's a prominent figure in the wargaming world, or conflict simulation world, whichever applies. Click the box. And don't forget San Diego HistCon. There's the GMT weekend at the warehouse. I think I'm gonna have a few pics of that. I don't know who I'm gonna steal it from, but if I steal it from anybody that doesn't want it to be stolen, please let me know. And if I steal it from anybody that wants it to be stolen, well, thank you very much. What else? What else can I say before going to work and having had 2 coffees and my meds just kicking in? Carl Parazzi emailed me with some interesting, with an interesting interview possibility. Game designers not making very much money. I might take him up on that. It's gonna be a farce, but that's what it is, you know, because game designers don't make that much money, believe it or not, because the distribution, printing, the blah 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 is usually done by the publishers. Though I've seen Carl edit his work, making the map and I don't know, in the end product I don't know who makes the map, who edits everything, but I think the publisher has final say. Also, it's Saturday. Actually, it's Friday today, but it's Saturday. It's supposed to be a nice day. I'm supposed to have a friend over to give him some plants. He wants to come over, have some plants, maybe have a few drams of scotch. And I wanted to make something called crispelle in Italian, which my mom used to call that, but probably erroneously. But they are Hungarian langoush. Now, it's a fried dough. And basically they make it either sweet or savory. Savory being with a garlic type of sour cream sauce, which is too garlicky for me. And the sweet one, I'm not very interested. So what we've done, my mom, is we make it into little pizzas. So it's basic fried dough little pizzas. Let me tell you, my mouth was watering right now. And with that, have a great weekend, and let's go on with the GMT monthly update.
Black Cherry. Black Cherry.
welcome to GMT's October monthly update. And the first things first is the GMT Weekend Warehouse, their 41st. That was last week. 125 attendees gathered there for the better part of 4 days, man. I'm gonna have to go to one of these things, even though 4 games of gaming for me is like it's overload because I'm hyperactive, you know? And look at the people who were there, man. I'm gonna put up some pictures somewhere here. I think it's here. Oh, yeah. I fixed it. When I point here, it goes there. Actually, there you go. There. Huh? Okay. There was, if I'm not mistaken, Candice was there with John Butterfield, and there's Jason Carr, and a guy who looks like, sitting down, a guy who looks like, from Blacklist, the actor that I think is the worst actor. There you have Kai Jensen, huh? So, what's going on? So why they delayed their mid-October P500 charge for Charioteer, which I'm waiting for, and Skies Above Britain, which I'm waiting for. Global supply chain issues continue to cause problems. So that says it all. Well, look, it's what it is. I mean, I work at the hospital and everything's back-ordered, and the Frenchman's there to say BO meaning back order. And, okay, on another subject, GMT fall sale news, okay? GMT will be having a fall sale this year. They're trying to squeeze it in between a couple of their P500 shipments, which is made more difficult by the uncertainties in the supply chain of late, of course, yes. So what Gene can tell us now is that they will be holding this sale in November, and it will be very similar to past sales in structure and discount levels. They don't know the dates exactly, but they'll send a special sale note to all the customers on their mailing list, and they'll post a link in their social media channels about a week in advance of the sale. So y'all have plenty of time. Alright, y'all have plenty of time. Let's see here. Jason Carr. He says April and October are always fun months for GMT because of their twice annual weekend in the warehouse. Obviously, it was a joy to head to Hanford and talk to the designers and developers. Of course, Jason, you work for GMT. Of course, you're gonna be happy. For God's sake, man. He spent time with Paul Daniels on his prototype Bear Trap. The game is based on a Sekigahara. And that's it for Jason Carr. Let's go to designer interviews on the GMT site. El Wargamero Novato interviews Kai Jensen and John Foley, co-developers of Fighting Formation, US 29th Infantry Division. It's in English and in Spanish. And Pascal Tupi, co-designer of Napoleon in Egypt, in English and in Spanish. All that on Il Wargamero Novato. Also, the Big Guys channel, Harold on Games, is interviewing Mark Miklos, the father of Battles of the American Revolution series. Also, John Butterfield, designer of Space Corps and series and co-designer of Downfall. The Player's Aid interview Ed Beach, designer of Border Reavers. It's not Revers, and it's not Rivers, it's Reavers.
And I'm Grant.
And my favorite Frenchman, Fred Serval, on Homo Ludens, is interviewing David Thompson with co-designer Zheng He. I hope I pronounced that right.
Oh putain!
Also, my good buddy Artie from ARDWULF'S Lair interviewing Paul Daniels, designer of Bear Trap, and Harold, the big man Buchanan, designer of Flashpoint South China Seas.
Really? These sons of they've been making us look bad for like 2 years now.
Also, card creations with Candice Harris. That was the girl, Candice Harris. He's interviewing Mark Herman, the designer of Churchill, amongst other lots of designs. Game guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to get your merch. Merch. Get the merch. Okay, so for the new P500 editions by Sword and Bayonets. Also, Decisive Action. And Nevsky's second edition, a P500 reprint, and an update kit, a kit of Nevsky's second edition. And we have a slew of recent P500 editions, including Fighting Formations, Napoleon in Egypt, Iron Storm, Fields of Fire, Borikin, Henry, stuff like that. And my daughter just dinged me, texted me, said, why would she take the apple pie? I know she doesn't like apple pie, but we had an apple pie here, so we only ate half of it. And the other half mysteriously disappeared, tin and all. So my dog didn't eat it because she would have been shitting aluminum. And that would not have been good. And I just texted her. I said, did you take the apple pie? And she goes, why would I take the apple pie? I put it in the drawer. We didn't see it. That was the ding you heard. So let's see what's going on. By Swords and Bayonets. That's by... Who was that by, for God's sakes? I swear to God. Huh? I can't see it. What can I tell you? But it's by Swords and Bayonets, Great Battles of the American Civil War, Volume 9. Why do I think it's Miklos, Mark Miklos? And Decisive Action, a game by Joseph Chacon. He did a game from MMP that I have called Front Towards Enemy. And these are... Let me see here. I'm going on it as we're checking it out. There is a Vijayanagara. I said that properly. A tournament for the Deccan. Dates are November 1st to November 30th. This is a medieval Indian game of the Deccan Empire of medieval India. It's the first game in the Irregular Conflict series by GMT. There's a how to play video, a teaching video is available at that link. I'm not going to post it here. I want you to go to their update on their site and click it on their link. And a draft book, a draft learn to play booklet is available on a link at the GMT website. They tell you about the tournament structure and tournament sign up and prizes. So here we go now. We go to the more not there yet P500. As you can see, there's a slew of them, like the No Retreat, Battles 1942, Bear Trap, Eternal Machine, Tank Duel Part 2, come on, let's go for it, eh? Also Iron Storm, Borikin, Fighting Formations is still not there yet. And what else is going on? That's about it. There's going to be the current charge and shipment of games is Battle for the Shenandoah, a Death Valley expansion, Cuba Libre, 4th printing, Fields of Fire, The Bulge campaign by Ben Hull, Fire in the Lake, 3rd printing by Volko and Mark Herman, that is, Norway 1940, a PQ-17 expansion, and The Last 100 Yards, a Mike Denson game, mission pack number 1.
Hello, this is Ricardo Mazzini, and this week's Greatest Day in History and Games is October 23rd, 1642, the day when an inconclusive field battle marked the beginning of a very consequential conflict, the Day of Edge Hill, first large-scale battle of the English Civil War. By the beginning of the 17th century, all Europe was just like a match waiting for a flame to burn. The religious conflicts of the previous century had been barely contained, and all dynastic rivalries had only exacerbated the situation. As we all know, this led to the beginning of the 30 Years' War, a terrible prolonged war that devastated all the continent. But there was one country that managed to stay out of it: England. In a short time, however, tensions between the Crown and the Parliament over tax policy, judicial prerogatives, and legislative powers mounted up year after year until King Charles I was forced to leave London and resolve the matter through force of arms, raising his royal standard in Nottingham. So, while the nation was dividing itself city against city into two different factions, the Parliament immediately sent out a military contingent under the Earl of Essex. Now, King Charles had two choices: a direct attack against Essex, who was encamped in a good defensive position near the town of Worcester, or a run towards London itself to recapture the city, or at least capture its large armories to replenish his army. King Charles chose the latter, correctly guessing that Exeter would be forced to intercept him and accept battle in a less prepared condition. It was then at Edgehill that the two armies met, openly showing their respective strengths and weaknesses. While the parliamentary infantry was reasonably equipped and, most of all, led by good veteran officers, most of the royalist troops were poorly armed, heavily lacking in gunpowder. In cavalry, however, Essex also was trained just in skirmish tactics, firing their pistols from the saddle, while the king's riders were used to the Swedish practice of charging sword in hand up to a final contact with the enemy. And in front of them was Prince Rupert of the Rhine, arguably one of the best cavalry commanders of all Europe. The battle that ensued was deeply influenced by these differences. Rupert's horsemen quickly dispatched their counterparts on the flank, but were unable to regroup and instead went on to pillage the enemy wagon trains, effectively leaving the battle. In the center, when royalist infantry came to the so-called push of the pike, they were first repulsed by the Essex foot soldiers and then routed by the action of some surviving parliamentarian horse arquebusiers. Even the king himself was put into peril, since his powerful lifeguard had joined Rupert and had left the sovereign almost unprotected. While Charles was busy organizing the flight of his own family from the field, the royal standard was briefly lost, but later recaptured by the daring action of a handful of cavaliers, who also saved the king. This gave enough time to the royalist infantry to reorganize itself and form a new line on the same starting position. When night came, the battle had evolved into an inconclusive duel of artillery and small arms fire. The next day, the king was able to leave the field undisturbed when Essex withdrew to Warwick, fearing for his rearguard threatened by Rupert's returning horsemen. This allowed Charles to get to London, but his army was no longer in a condition to fight against the capital's powerful garrison, so he had to retreat again to Oxford, from where he would lead much of the dreadful conflict that had started that day on the plain of HEXES. I have to admit, the English Civil War is a favorite subject of mine, and yes, mainly because of the old Cromwell movie. With all its historical inaccuracies, the splendor of the uniforms, the action in the battles, and most of all, Richard Hare's incredible performance enchanted me since I was a child. Even if the depiction of HEXES is all wrong, Cromwell was not even present on the field on that day, but it doesn't matter. Now, some years, alright, decades later, I have many choices to relive those events in a much more accurate historical reconstruction, thanks to wargaming. As I said, there are many possible choices for good wargames on this battle, but I'd like to point out a series that I'm following since its first titles, Horse and Musket, and especially its module on the 17th century, Horse and Matchlock. Based on acclaimed Hold the Line games, the rule set is a direct evolution of this old system, combining the simplicity of the action point activation and the bucket of dice combat resolution with lots of special rules, masterfully depicting the different tactics of all armies and the peculiar conditions of a particular battle. Horse and Musket is a sandbox open environment with scenarios ranging from the 17th up to the very early 19th century, with the latest module dedicated to the Napoleonic era. You have access to many unknown or exotic battles, periodic updates with new scenarios, or you can easily create your own thanks to the modular X map. I like it so much that I created a personal copy from the PNP files in Woven Vault, using wooden blocks to represent the various formations and an enlarged map, a version that has been much appreciated by Folko Ranke himself when he came to visit the latest Modern Play convention here in Italy. And if Folko likes it, well, so that's it for this week. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao.
Here we go with the news, playthroughs, reviews, all kinds on No Enemies here. We're here to have fun, right? And I'm having fun. I just got back from work. It's 8 o'clock at night. Actually, I'm having a good time. I love doing this. This is great. I'm sitting down, having a beer, and doing my work. You know what I'm saying? So let's get on with it. By the way, everybody's in the house today. Dave is back. Wojennik, Ricardo, and KilRoy. Huh? What do you say? Let's go. And the man who looks like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Production, has 3 videos this week. The first video was Hitler's top general in Allied captivity. Also, The Hunt for Martin Bormann, episode number 5. Yet I never found that scum. Also, SS Diehard's 1945 renegade SS attacks on post-war allies. Okay? All this on Mark Felton Productions. Also on the great channel that is Indie Nidale's World War II. There are 4 videos out. Nazis Suck at Sabotage, World War II Spies and Ties, number 23. Also, wow, that's okay, that one caught me by surprise. Zaporizhia, World War II, October 15th. Oh, look, I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right, but it's Russian. You know what I'm saying? Also, another video called Censored, The Great Escape from Death Camps. I'm sure that's a tough one. Sometimes they have really tough episodes on this, and they have disclaimers and all that. Look, it's World War II. It ain't for the lighthearted. And the last one, The Great Escape from Death Camp, Sobibor, October 16th, 1943, on the great channel that is World War II. Wars of the World has 2 videos, World War II before and after the war, in photographs and military paranormal mysteries that have never been solved. There's a ... I'm trying to fill in the blanks here. And the great channel, and I mean the great channel. These guys, look, everything works. Everything works. All right? Legendary Tactics. 6 videos out. It's Circadian's Chaos Order review and first look. Also, reshuffled segment called Twilight Struggle Reshuffle Strategy, How to Card by Card. And Flashpoint, a reboxing of South China Sea board game reboxing by the big guy Harold Buchanan. And Board Games and Cats. Look, we all have to have fun sometimes. Labyrinth playthrough against the US AI bot. A game by Volkorunke, published by GMT. And Scythe Pro Play tournament game on the great channel that is Legendary Tactics. On KilRoyWasHere, by the way, he's in the house, the segment's in the back. KilRoy Goes Off the Shelf, World at War 85. Also, Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturdays, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And KilRoy's Deep Dive Valiant Defense series by the handsome David Thompson. 4 games. Pavlov's House, Castle Eater, In Postman's Uniform, I think, and Lazarus Ridge. It's probably that. Also, another video, I should say, Patriots and Redcoats Green Feet unboxing and brief overview, and KilRoy from the Road Veterans Park on KilRoyWasHere. He's got Galena something something, but it's a ... thing, so I'm not gonna try to butcher it there, huh? Also, Mo of Mo's Game Table has 2 videos out. Compass Game Learn to Play number 17, Sniper Kill Confirmed. And The War, Europe 1939 to 1945 Expansion Kit. This is a preview from a Compass Games game called The War, Europe. The one and only STUKAJOE. 3 videos out. He's live at Vicksburg. He's at a con there. And also live from the siege of Vicksburg. Okay? And Battle for Russia at the siege of Vicksburg. All this on the great channel that is STUKAJOE. Dad versus son, what are you kidding me? I haven't checked out. I don't know if I'm alive or dead yet, because I'm a player in one of his playthroughs, and he's doing 12 videos of Dad versus son in a game called Combat Volume 1. This is the Volume 1. Is that the expansion? I don't know, but I haven't yet played this game, and it's good. It's good. I know it's good. And so he plays Dad's Dodgy Dozen, which I'm one of them. I'm a corporal in there, or a lieutenant corporal. And there's 12 episodes of that, and most of these videos are about an hour long. So great times at Dad versus Son. Artie of ARDWULF'S Lair, 4 videos out. He's unboxing Point Blank. V is for Victory by Lock and Load. And he says, is it the next up front? Also, counter-clipping, pre-order rundown of Compass Games, and everything you wanted to know about war games that we were afraid to ask. Yes, it's a long title, with Dan Pincaldi. That's me. And we're talking about the CSR Awards. And the thing about the CSR Awards is that they're back up and running. And that just reminds me that I have a video. Thank God for that. And also, last but not least, of Artie's videos on ARDWULF'S Lair is in conversation with the big guy himself, Harold Buchanan.
Hey folks, ARDWULF here. I have an announcement to make, and it's a big one, and one that I didn't expect to be making ever. I've been offered and have accepted the post of Director of the Charles S. Roberts Awards for Excellence in the Conflict Simulation Industry. This is both a huge honor and a big responsibility. The CSR Awards represent the pinnacle of achievement in our very small hobby, and they are a legacy that must not be lost. We'll be working to move the CSR Awards forward, both the 2021 awards that have been somewhat delayed, as well as moving the awards into the future. That future will hold many changes for the Charles S. Roberts Awards. However, for the moment, I and the Board of Governors are focused on the completion of the 2021 awards. Personally, I'd like to thank Roger B. McGowan for the opportunity and the great honor that this is, and I'd like to thank outgoing CSR Awards Director Tim Toe for his vision, initiative, and hard work in resuming the CSR Awards, which would be fallow if it were not for him. A formal press release with more information and a schedule will be out soon. In the meantime, I will also mention that I am recusing myself for any consideration for either a nomination or an award from the Charles S. Roberts Awards. Thanks for watching. We will be talking about this much more in the coming weeks.
Tony of Tony's Board Life has 2 videos this week. The Lock and Load Publishing's Heroes of the Bitter Harvest, featuring, look at that face, Devin. Devin Heidel, the OG. Also, a video called Storming Gold Beach, It's the Greatest Days, Storming Gold Naval Chit, Part 2 on Tony's Board Life. The gentlemen of the Player's Aid have 4 videos this week. Unboxing and victory awaits from MMP. Also reviewing The Thing, the board game from Pendragon Games, I guess. I love that movie. Music by Ennio Morricone. And it's just, excuse the pun, a chilling movie. Also unboxing Crusade and Revolutions from Compass Games. And they review Pericles, 4-player game from GMT Games. And GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer has 3 videos this week. Blood Red Skies Sea Battle Part 3. Also War Games Delivered Hobby Kit. And Guadalcanal, a combat boots game. That is not the Worthington Publishing game that I was talking about, which I'm curious of. And the great channel that is Seek Out and Play. Great voice, great presentation, great lighting. I wish I could do the same. Warfighter World War II Z expansion, number 59, Dagon. Dagon, that's a Lovecraftian thing, and it is Cthulhu, obviously. And that's what's fun about Warfighter, because you can throw that in anywhere and it just pops up and you gotta deal with it. It's cool, you know what I mean? 6 Actual has 2 videos out. Hold, a Hover Hold, an unboxing of Air Cobra, and RPG in the Sky, Dawn Patrol, an unboxing on 6 Actual. Marco Omnigamer, aka Marco Wargamer, but he is an Omnigamer. So am I. Battle of Baton Rouge game review. This is a game by... I have no idea. I gotta watch the video. But that's why I have this on, so we can all watch the video. You know what I'm saying? On Marco Omnigamer. Battle of Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Right? On Little Wars TV, Chain of Command Arnhem Wargame Event Cap. A recap, I should say. Arnhem. That's it. On October 1st to the 2nd, 2022, the 2 Fat Lardies and WWS Magazine sponsored a wargaming event for the anniversary of Operation Market Garden, using Chain of Command on 4 stunning 28mm tabletops. They refought the last stand of the British 1st Airborne around Osterbeek. That should be a lot of fun. Now, again, I keep saying this. This is the Gamer's Closet. Why the Gamer's Closet? These are the games you have in your closet, and you played once, twice, and you had a great time when you were a kid. You know what I'm saying? And he's got like 24 videos out, if not more, this week, and he reviews Jutland and the Civil War game 1863, and Enemy Agent, Cubic, Yellowstone, Bermuda Triangle, Monster Flux, Zathura, Garfield, Battlestar Galactica. Look, it's just fun. These are 15 to 20 minute videos, and it's all stupid games, and we had fun when we were young, right? On Rough Swordsman Wargamer, Part 6 of a playthrough of the introductory campaign Wake Island from DVG's Zero Leader, and is a game designed by Chuck Siegert. On Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Let's get all cuddly and watch Rough Swordsman. On Cataclysm Now, a playthrough of the 6th scenario from the base game. A column of T-34s need to seize the village of Kurva from the Germans. This is Assault, Ukraine, Panzer, GMT, a game by Mike Day. Is it Mike Day? Yeah. On Justagard, 3 videos. GMT Weekend at the Warehouse, Fall 2022. That's great. I wish it was there. Also, GMT Weekend at the Warehouse, another video, and again another video of GMT Weekend at the Warehouse, where he is showing like a ton load of games, and looks like a good time. Kai Jensen was there, Jason Carr was there, John Butterfield was there, I think Carl Kreider from the Wargame Bootcamp was there. I just plan on going there one day, just to have said I've been there. On Combat Board Games, looking at Brown Water Navy D66 game book by Brent Campbell, who is Combat Board Games. So he's got another book out. I played his first book out, and I forget what it was, but it's about a Japanese soldier stuck in the Philippines, and I think the war is over, but he is still there and he's trying to survive. Lots of fun. On Simple History, 4 videos: The Black Death Plague 1347 to 1351, and Low IQ People Forced to Become Soldiers. Look, the Germans did it with the SS. What do you think the Americans are not going to do it with soldiers? Like, let's get everybody in here, you know what I'm saying? And the actual cause of the plague of 1347. I'm not saying all the soldiers were dunces, but come on, you got a few psychopaths and sociopaths wanting to join the army just for the thrill of killing, right? The SS, I think they took them out of the jails and all that. They're crazy, man. And the truth of the Salem witch trials. On Lock and Load Publishing, Day of Heroes release for Lock and Load tactical game. It's Days of Heroes. And that is the game that has, if I'm not mistaken, the square instead of hexagons, it's squares on the map. And it's I might be mistaken, but it is in Mogadishu, or it's in the Middle East somewhere also. I'm probably butchering this. What am I saying? But hey, I have it. Joel Taubman, the Minister, that is Joel Taubman, with 5 videos: The Fall of Saigon, The Vassal Instruction, and No Peace Without Honor, playthrough parts 1 through 4. A game by Compass Games. That should say published by Compass Games. Mike Lambo keeps whipping them out, man. And they're getting better and better and better and better. Watch KilRoyWasHere videos. You'll see the development of Mike Lambo games. At first, they were quite simple in terms of illustration, the art, the artwork in the book. Now they've become a little bit more elaborate. So on Mike Lambo's Solitaire book games, he says teaser, Quest for the Brave, and Lone Sherman, and Be Rough With Me. Yeah, I don't know. Mike Lambo. On Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials, Command and Colors, Ancients, 607, Mycali, or Mycelia, God, I'm butchering that. On Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials. Hex to Hex has 3 videos out: Death Valley, Port Republic Part 2, and the Battle of Fismus. Part 2 and the Battle of 25 East Sneedville War. Sneedville. That's interesting. My paisan from the South, Christopher Prest, has 6 videos on Der Weltkrieg. That is 5 videos on Der Weltkrieg. Alright, and 1 video on Gorlice Tarno. Now, it looks like the same Weltkrieg map, but I might be mistaken. on Christopher Prest. Storm of Steel Wargaming, 2 videos out. O Group Death of the Volga Battle Report on Storm of Steel, and Bench Report channel update. He's more of a miniatures guy, and for all you miniatures guys, check it out. And once in a while, you know, you're just perusing the YouTube and you come across Pasta Grannies. Pasta Grannies. This episode is a 96-year-old Fedora and 86-year-old Alba making passatelli, bread and cheese pasta. Look, go to any restaurant you want, anywhere in the world, any restaurant, choose the best restaurant. Money is no object. And I will guarantee you that 96-year-old Fedora, who's been making those passatellis for 95 years because she was born with an apron, will blow you away with her sauce if you were to be able to taste this granny's pasta and her passatellis. You will never, ever, ever have a meal like that unless you have a grandma who's been cooking all her life, and you're lucky if you do, and you can eat her food. If you have, you're blessed. You are blessed. Less and less this is happening. I remember when my mom was cooking with her mom and we were eating, I mean, Sunday dinners were, it was like an Italian wedding every Sunday. So, and the thing is Jacques Pepin, one of the world's greatest chefs, seriously, he was asked, who's your favorite chef? And he said, any grandmother. Brings tears to my eyes.
Hello everyone, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet from the Polish YouTube channel Wojennik TV. Here is a very quick roundup of the content published on Wojennik TV during the last 7 days. I released only one wargaming related video during the last week, and this was a review of a very interesting book game. This was the review of Waterloo Solitaire, released in 2021 by Worthington Publishing. Waterloo Solitaire is a game which is part of a new series released by Worthington Publishing. It was actually the second game released in this series. It is a series of games which are released in a book game, which means that everything that you need to play is inside a book. Alongside this, you should use a pencil and also a dice. And that's it when it comes to the list of the components that you need to play. Waterloo Solitaire obviously is focused on the Battle of Waterloo 1815, and it enables us to recreate this battle from both the French as well as from the Allied perspective. So you have what you receive in this book game is not only one game, but 2 games with 3 different kinds of difficulty levels from both perspectives. So in fact you receive 6 types of games. 3 from the French perspective with different difficulty levels, and 3 from the Allied perspective with also 3 different difficulty levels. During the game, we will be activating formations on the battlefield and deciding how to use them. Although the scope of our possibilities is limited to what we have in the game, then we will be activating our opposing bot. Do a die roll, we will be executing his action, and finally we will be executing our own action, resolving at most times attacks launched against enemy formations. The objective for the French is to destroy 2 of the big Allied infantry formations, the left wing or the right wing or the reserve corps, whereas from the Allied perspective the objective is to sustain the French assaults and to hold on until the game's end, or to destroy one of the French wings, or to bring to the battlefield a sufficient number of Prussian troops in order to overwhelm the French. So this is a game which is played differently from both perspectives, a game which is resolved using dice, so you will be rolling a lot of dice during this game, but it is quite interesting. You can easily play a single game in a time of 20 minutes or so. This is a nice wargaming filler, I'd say, so this is something which all wargamers should take a look at, especially if you're looking for a solitaire game which can be played very quickly when you want to play something less complex than all the wargames that we are playing every day. So this was the Polish review of this title, and I will release also an English version of this review in some time. When I do, I will of course give you an information about it during one of my roundups. Thank you a lot for watching this brief summary. I wish you, as always, an excellent week. Have a great gaming, and see you next time.
And I just checked out this new channel, and he's got podcasts, and it's called Battle Games, The Spirit of Wargaming Battle Chat. And it's Henry Hyde. He's got 600 subscribers. It's probably like a channel like mine type thing, where it's just, you know, well, that is, it's more in depth in wargaming. I'm presenting the news. But anyways, Battle Games Battle Chat, episode 21. So, I haven't listened to it yet, but it's intriguing, and I thought I'd like to show you guys and ladies a new one. Look, it's a podcast, Battle Chats with Henry Hyde on war stories, 3 videos. General Sir Arthur Currie, Canada's unsung hero of the ... See? Also, the real story of the mathematician who saved the bloody world. He's the guy who created the computer, seriously. I forget his name. But he should be... he really is an unsung hero. And basically the man was gay, so after the war in Britain, being gay was a no-no, so they basically chemically castrated him, and he killed himself. So he saves the world, and let's kill him, or let's castrate him. The Dusted Game Shelf, 3 videos, unboxing Armada Orc Starter Fleet, and also unboxing the Bloody Inn, and unboxing Raccoon Tycoon. It's funny, this Raccoon Tycoon reminds me of a GMT game on the Dusted Game Shelf. U-Boater 658 has 3 videos out. The OSG Napoleon invades Spain, La Coruna, 2 p.m. battle British turn, also La Coruna, 3 p.m. French turn, and the 3 p.m. British turn of La Coruna. These are detailed games. on Uborder 658. Zilla Blitz, 4 videos out. Lazarus Ridge by David Thompson, and a minor achievement. This is a trucker game. I gotta watch this. Also, again, Lazarus Ridge, first wave, and a Grand Tour achievement of being a trucker. He's into these games. Some people are really into these games, into farm games and all that. And they sell. That means people are into it. You know, what can I say? Sean Moore in Gaming with the Colonel. This is a Canadian Colonel. He has a channel, obviously a wargaming channel, and Gaming with the Colonel. Sam Grant again. This is a game by Columbus Games, that's right. And an unboxing of 1812 and a War of 1812 CG, he says. CG, I don't know what that means, I'm sorry. But he's got 68 subscribers. Give this guy a hand. Subscribe. He's a real colonel. And he likes playing war games. Oh no. Sci-Fi Central. Relax. Take it easy sometimes. Watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? I know Mark Herman basically watches History Channel all the time. All the time. And I understand. But sometimes you just want to let go. You know what I'm saying? So, Zillafoot, the full-action sci-fi monster B-movie called Zillafoot. And The Immortal Wars Rebirth, full-action sci-fi movie. You know, tonight, I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. Depends on when I finish. And Dragon Fury, full movie action, sci-fi fantasy. Lionheart Filmworks also has movies such as Medal of Honor Hero, Glory, The True Story of Glory continues, 1991, Vietnam, 50 Years Remembered, The Fighting Lady, American Special Forces, 1989-1991. So this is a channel which has 420,000 subscribers, and it's basically a channel that looks at battles, wars, stuff like that, and also fun stuff like shapeshifters and witches. You know what I'm saying? Just to throw things around. Kings and Generals, 4 videos out. Russian invasion of Ukraine, a 6-month summary. Also, Bayphius, 1302 Byzantine Ottoman Wars. And did the Middle Ages happen? What the hell does that mean? And Battle for Henderson's Field, Pacific War number 48 in the series. And the channel that you have to watch if you're into simulation games, right? Conflict simulation, is Remember World War II with Rishi Sharma. And he interviews veterans of World War II, and they are quickly leaving us. And this one here is World War II, Iwo Jima and Okinawa combat veteran shares his toughest experience on Hidden Heroes of World War II #1. Man, he only has 109,000 subscribers. I would think you'd have 50 million, because these guys gave their lives. Even though they are alive, they still gave their lives because they have to live with that horror every day of their life. You talk to them about it, they're gonna break down. How can you not? Remember World War II with Rishi Sharma? Watch the channel. World War II Solitaire board game channel has 12 videos out this week. Most of them are on Patton's Best playthrough. Also a playthrough of B-17 Queen of the Skies, and he goes to a museum of Arsenalum, Swedish tank museum. Arsenalen. That's what it is. Also, he talks about his top 5 Solitaire World War II board games, and he talks about V-Sabotage, a game, an unboxing, a game by Philippe Toué. I forget his name, for God's sake. But he's a guy from Montreal. Also, V-Sabotage miniature pack unboxing, and 3,333 subscribers. Thank you, he says. It's funny. 3333. Philippe de la Touane. That's what it is. That's the guy's name. I'm telling you. You know, there's this channel. They play board games, and they play board games while they're drinking and they get drunk, and it's real stupid, but it's funny, and it's called Blame Society, and there's 245,000 subscribers. They play games like Freddy vs. Jason, and movie puzzle unboxing, Welcome to the Basement. That's fun too. Once in a while I go back to them, and what can I say? You know, boys will be boys. And another channel, and this guy's Indian, and he cooks traditional Indian food, and it's great. He's funny. WORTHINGTON. Check him out. Okay? Cashew nut drumsticks, ghee foundation for great vegetarian food, and ghee chicken fry with cashew PDR. I don't know. A lot of fun. You know, surfing the net. What can I tell you? The man who goes by the name of Jeff has 4 videos out. V-Sabotage, Introduction and Overview, and ISS Vanguard Campaign Playthrough Part 1. Also, ISS Vanguard Playthrough Part 2 and Part 3. Tutorial complete on Part 3. Stephen Dolges, 6 videos out, Nations in Arms, and basically those are all the videos concerning Nations in Arms. Wars of the First Coalition, First Impulse, Autumn 1792, Winter 1792, and Spring 1793 on Stephen Dolges. ID Jester, 12 videos out. I'm sure he's got more. Alright? And the Inside Scoop board on board gaming. Also, Terraforming Mars, which I have, and it was recommended to me by Stephen Bonacore. Stephen Bonacore knows his stuff when it comes to games because he was the president of Stronghold Games. Also, The War Room with Rough Swordsman and Tony. He does Eldritch Horror, Istanbul Big Box Edition base game. I hear that's a good game. And a live unboxing of Brass and the magnificent solo playthrough and tutorial on Kurt's channel, ID Jester. Kurt, I hope you're doing well. Liz of Beyond Solitaire interviews my favorite Frenchman, Fred Serval of Homo Ludens. Look, Ricardo, Fred, these are the guys that are impassioned by war games, and they study this stuff, man. You know, so they're historically correct. What can I tell you, man? You know, love these guys. Jan Heineman of Let's Play History has 6 videos out. Battle of Ranoke Island. And did the trap snap? Also, Das neue Leben began for our German viewers. And there's something like really long and on Fields of Glory too. It's Eröffnung. I'm sorry. Also Töfe Brunnen Mass or Moose Man Graben and Scheben und Ringen Fields of Glory Part 2. I'm sorry, Ann, I messed it up in German. I'm trying. You can't diss me for that. On Heavy Cardboard presents a live stream teach, play, and discuss of Glory to Roma 4-player teaching, playthrough, and roundtable by Heavy Cardboard. This is great news. Greg Schmidtgen, Judd Vance, and Bart Brunsheen, also known as Hamtag, they are back. The band is back together. Hamtag is back. So the band is back together for a limited time. Join us live. It says join Hamtag live for a question and answer on the original Hamtaggers. They will answer. And they're getting together to film a top 5 show and wanted to do a live questions and answer show. I met Greg Schmidtgen and I got some of his beef jerky. I didn't get a pin. I haven't met Judd, and I haven't met Bart. But Hamtag is back, and that is great news.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of Wargame Review Institutions. This week we did 4 things on YouTube. The first was Wargame Chat number 58, where we talked about some of the war movies we like. You've probably seen a lot of the ones we mentioned, but I'm sure there's a few you still need to see. Second, we did a first look at Last Battle Ishima 1945 from Revolution Games. This is a Ziploc game about this World War II battle. It has an area map and the rules look relatively simple. Third, we did a review of Struggle for the Throne, Star Trek 3 from FASA. It's a very simple game where you're a member of a Klingon house who's aiming to take control of the Klingon Empire. This game is fun and can be played by 2 to 6 players. The 2-player game resolves in about 25 minutes though, which is a little too quick in my opinion. Last, we did a newest acquisitions video. I recently received quite a bit of auction credit and used it to buy some war games, role-playing games, and miniature rule sets. I also showed a bunch of game books I recently got from Amazon. That's all I got. Have a good day, everyone.
On Hexed Encounter 2 videos, both the same, both on the same subject. It's Armured Commander 2, Armured. Playthroughs part 1 and 2 on Hexed Encounters. On the Nerd Workshop, GMT Games at a Den 44, a Mark Simonich game, first look and review, and also The Hunted, first look and review of a Gregory M. Smith game, published by GMT. Invicta, 2 videos, Units of History, War Chariots of Britannia, and Ancient Greeks in the Arctic. Really? God, what a contrast. And George Hiotis, Advanced Squad Leader Tips and Tactics, Skull King. George Hiotis. Everything on ASL. Dave's Gaming Cave, 2 videos out. American Tank Ace Cyclops Campaign Part 4. I got the game! And American Tank Ace Cyclops Campaign Part 5. The finale on Dave's Gaming Cave. On the Board Game Chronicles, 2 videos. Pavlov's House digital version playthrough and Falling Sky playing as Rome. Respect, Jim Ozarski, 2 videos of Probe at Bada Mouen for Chain of Command, and the Battle of Chickamauga, Part 3 for Altar of Freedom on Jim Ozarski's YouTube site. Wise Guy History, slacking off with only 2 videos, Twilight Inscription playthrough, and also World of Warships, back at the helm. World of Warships. I saw that World of Tanks. I'm more of a tank guy. I don't know why, because basically it's a Ronson. But anyways, Warty Roll plays World War II. It Never Snows turned 10 after action report, which I previewed last week, but I wanted to keep the Warty Roll plays World War II sign there, so you know everybody sees it. It's very nice. Excuse me. This week he plays Heroes of Normandy, Saint Mary-Église, the expansion. Carl Paradis likes this game. Excuse me. And when he said he likes this game, it's fun. It's fun, it's Hollywood, it's World War II. The Professor Riccardo Mazzini, 2 videos, live at Casus Belli, October 2022, and a micro warlog across the Suez on Riccardo Mazzini, which he is having a great time at a con in Italy, eating Italian food, drinking Italian wine, and everything Italian. Hexes and Soldiers, AJ Toynbee, Jason Cruz, 2 videos out. Aspern Essling, 21st of May 1809, and the 21st of May 1809 Part 2 on Hexes and Soldiers. Worthington Publishing has 2 videos out. Grant says welcome back, and also how to play Guadalcanal Solitary book game. They're really doing well with these games, and I thought it was great when they first came out. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer has 2 videos out. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Light Years from... Also, top 10 games Cody played the most in October. The man famously known as Calandale has 2 videos out. Enrico Viglino, Time of Wars intro and intro A and intro B. Also, History Hustle is Montenegro during World War II, 1941 to 1944. It's a great Dutch channel. I watch it sometimes. And Smart War Games. We have 15 videos out, and it's all concerning conflict simulation, combat mission Black Sea, Semper Fi, combat missions Black Sea again, numeral Lord released on Steam. It's different. It's different. It's one of those channels, you know? I don't know what I mean. What does one of those channels mean? I have no idea.
Hello all! Today, Kilroy goes off the shelf and out the door and on the road. This is Kilroy from the road. I'm at the Galena Veterans Park, which is right next to the Galena Mining Museum. And you know what? If you want to catch my attention, and if you want to get me to stop by, just put a tank outside on the side of the road and I'll come a-running. So this is a tank, an M60, that's right outside. It's in the Veterans Park, right outside the Mining Museum here in Galena, Kansas. Take an up close and personal look at that. And then we have a plaque here that talks a little bit about when this was dedicated. It looks like it was dedicated September 29th, 1992. It was donated by the Kansas Army National Guard. Then we also have a memorial here as well. You guys can catch that with the glare. And another plaque over here. dedicated to the loving memory of the Galena Volunteer Fire Department, which is right back here. So get a look at this from the other side here. Anyway, this is a short Kilroy from the road and off the shelf, but I thought, again, you want to catch my attention? Just put a tank on the side of the road. Have a good one, all. Just a little bit further off the beaten path, because you know me, I'm gonna go off the beaten path. You find this not too far from the Veterans Park there. So I'm always looking for something. Now, if you put this by the side of the road, it might stop as well. So there you have it, right behind the Galena Veterans Park. Thanks for joining me. Dan needs a video, Dan needs a video. Oh my God, hey, cup of Joe. I don't got time for coffee.
And with that said, let's cue up the music and say another week, another show. This was a working week show. Usually I take Fridays off so I can do the show. This time I didn't, so I got back from work. I started this at 8 o'clock. Holy moly. I'm having an Unibrew Blonde. Unibrew is a great brewery not in Montreal, in Granby, which does a fort there, and it's a serious fort. It was there to hold Quebec from the Americans. Another week, another show. Please like, subscribe, and donate to this channel. As a matter of fact, my supporters got me this new mini Mac and 2 decent monitors, which Artie was right to say, get 2 monitors. It gets editing done quicker, better, and so you're more efficient with your time. So thank you very much, supporters. Look, I got a new Mac Mini. You know what I mean? I could never have afforded that otherwise. So, thank you very much. And don't forget San Diego, the San Diego HistCon, excuse me. I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to probably be hitting the sack, but probably not. I'm probably going to have a pipe. And I don't know what type of tobacco I'm going to have, but you know what I mean. After a day's work, it's a hard day's work, you know, doing the dishes for 500 people in palliative care, which I do it because it's palliative care. I care, and I hope they care. Have a good weekend. Be nice to people. There's no reason to be a Karen or a Kane or whatever they call it, or a male Karen. I've been watching those videos on YouTube. It's wasting my time. But some people are nuts. You know what I'm saying? They're psychiatric, and they're out in the open, and they're non-medicated. Well, it freaked me out. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing these. and have a great weekend.